Hello, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for my August month in review. Thank you, thank you. I promise to speed it up and not be here all day. I have lots to show you, especially in the deck world. So just stay tuned. Come on into the chat room. Welcome, welcome. Hi guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I have a different look in conditioning my hair and trying a new satin situation in here so my hair can be happy while it's being deep conditioned. So thank you for joining me. I'm so happy to do my month in review with you all. You know, this is my favorite thing to do on the channel, as I get to share with you what I've been up to for the last month. And I want to see also what you guys have been up to, what things that you found really helped you in your month of August. Put it in the chat or put it in the comments after the fact if you're watching this on replay. So yay. And like I mentioned before I started this, I will try to be brief and try to keep it snappy and moving forward because, you know, ain't nobody got time to be here all day. Let's see. Let me know. Hi, Jackie. Let me know if you guys can see me or hear me or if there's any issues going on with the live stream. Let me know. Let me know. Oh, my goodness. Let's see who's here. Hi, Scott. How are you? How's it going? Oh, I'm going to be chatting about you in a moment. I'm excited. Let's see. So you guys get to see me. Hello, MA. Thank you for being here. I love you guys. Thank you all for showing up for me and the channel. My Jackie, I'm so happy you're here. I like saying my Jackie, like why? I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I get happy when I see you in a chat and then I see your purple heart and I'm like, oh, I gotta say my Jackie. Okay. Oh, look who's here. Oh my goodness. Hi, my wonderful Patrice. Patrice, can I tell you, I enjoyed the live stream that was on yesterday at Jen's Balance Tarot. If you guys have not checked that out, please do. It was on is it the Wisdom of the Shadow? Is that the name of the Oracle deck? Please correct me if I'm wrong. As soon as I watched that, I put that deck instantly on my wish list. And like, I categorize what goes on my wish list. I have a spreadsheet, of course. And I put either unlikely that I'm going to get the deck in the future, likely, or very likely. And this one got a very likely. So that means like it totally resonated. And then, oh, Renetta, it was just such a wonderful time. I enjoyed myself. I knew I would. So don't worry, it's all good. It's all good, Scott. It's a good thing. I'm excited. Aw, love you too. Hello, Nancy. Hello, hello. I'm so glad you guys are here. I promise I will be mindful of the time. I could just chat with you all day. All right, so month in review. Let's talk about it. Let's talk first about, since I don't want to keep Scott all like, what is she going to talk about? Let's just dive right into these month in review items. So the first thing is YouTube channels or YouTube videos that I watched. Now I'm going to have to add Jen's Balanced Tarot's live stream yesterday that she did with Patrice. Our lovely Patrice who's in here. And also the creator of the deck. I don't want to, I know it starts with a J. I don't want to mess it up. So I'm just going to I'm going to remember when I'm updating the description box after this live stream, because sometimes we talk about things that I end up adding later. I will be sure to put all that good information in the description box. So first thing we need to chit chat about, and let me just make sure I'm not seeing anything here. Your wife is amazing. Renetta is amazing. I like instantly was like, I wish I could just give them both a hug. You guys are so beautiful and authentic and just like it's so, like when you could tell that a couple just clicks and just, they don't hold back. They know when to give and take. It was so beautiful to watch. I enjoyed every last bit of that stream yesterday. Your wife is amazing. So that was fun. I hope you guys check it out too. Thank you, Jessica Ricchetti. That deck. Here's the thing about that deck, and then I'll move on to YouTube channels. That deck hit me in a way that I was like, I have been in a place where I've been exploring shadow aspects of myself. I always am. I'm an Aquarius sun, so I'm not afraid to go there with myself. But the way that the card descriptions are with the beautiful images, it just really touched me in a way. And I think it touched me in a way seeing it yesterday, like, and you guys all talking about how you use it, how you've been working with it. I want to use it with my husband too, because I was inspired by Patrice and Vernetta's way of how they use it in their couple time. I just was blown away, like how people are probably with soul cards. Now I know soul cards could probably have a whole another meaning, but there was something about soul cards that I loved, and then something that kind of repelled me. I don't know, and I never got them. I've known about them forever, but I just didn't get them. This deck is different. I don't know, guys. I don't know. So I'm excited about it. It was lovely. I loved it. I love. So that was just, yeah, that was awesome. Yes, she is. Oh, I would love to share a hug with you. Yes. I was like, these are my peeps right here. These are my peeps. So you just know, when you know. I know, right? Me and the notification. I'm a YouTuber and I don't even know like half the time what's happening and what's going on. So it was thanks to someone in my Facebook group, Okay Mama, I believe. That's her username here on YouTube World. But she mentioned it in the Facebook group and said, hey, Patrice is going to be on. And I was like, thank you. Thank you for letting me know. I want people to feel comfortable to share those things with me. I never say I have an anti-sharing of other channels in my group. That's quite the contrary. If you know of something that's going to be pertinent to us in the community, please feel free to share in my Facebook group. Now, of course, if you're doing blatant, and even your own videos, by the way. Of course, if you're doing, I don't know, shameless promotion or something that feels spammy or something like that, then of course I have to say something. And please don't make me say anything. But I love when you guys share other content creators because it's so cool. And this was an instance that it worked out beautifully. Yes, right. So Scott, I saw you in the chat and I was like, I think you and I were feeling the same way. Like, I think we were like, wow, this deck is blowing me away. So the $1 million question, are you going to get the deck? That's the $1 million question. Wisdom of the Shadow. Doesn't that just sound so beautiful and crone energy? Like, take me there, will you? Like, I love that. Or opening a portal inside. I so want to use this with my husband. I could totally see this working interesting. Like this. We all should like do like a future couples Friday night and like, it's virtual and we just are using this deck and seeing what comes up, All right, so YouTube channels, back to YouTube channels. Patrice, I'm gonna keep your lovely comment up here so I can know where I am in the chats. And if you all are just joining in, if I missed you, please know that I got mad love for you and I'm happy you're watching now or on the replay. So the first channel I want to speak of is Deck Harlot's channel. She did a video, and if you see me, I'm looking at my planner here. Can I afford this deck? And You guys know this is the space I'm in. I was thinking about how we're in different phases in our collecting, and how I like to think of it in the major moon phases, where you're waxing, or new moon. So you're new to it. There's not much going on. It's a new frontier, new possibilities with your collection. Then there is the you go to the new moon, right? And then you're going, so you're waxing, you're collecting, you're acquiring, you're in the acquisition phase of your collection. Then you go to the full moon, and I'm not saying like waxing, gibbous, and all that stuff. I'm just talking about the main cycles. Then you go to the full moon where you feel really satiated. Like, yeah, you could probably add on a little bit more, but you're feeling really good about the spot that you're in your collection. And that's where I feel like I'm at. And I'm always like in this little cycle. I go, I tend to move from full moon, and then waning. And so there's the waning phase, right? Where you might be not adding to the collection at all. And in fact, you may be actually releasing decks, and you might go through the cycle again, or you may not. So I just love the thought of cycles. As a woman, the woman persuasion, we're always thinking about cycles. I've been feeling like I've been thinking about cycles since the beginning of my time. The question. The $1 million question is for you. This question is, are you strongly leaning, and I'm putting you on the spot, are you strongly leaning on purchasing the wisdom of the shadow? And of course, you can always change your mind later. Me personally, it's high on the wish list. Like, it bumped all the way up to, I have 10 decks on there right now. I try to put no more than 10 decks. And keep more than 10 decks on there. And that one was just like, boop, it popped to the top. Like, I was so excited. I had to talk to you guys about it. Wouldn't that be fun? A couple of Friday nights with Wisdom of the Shadow. We're there. Yay, it would be great to be your husband. Oh, yeah. Sometimes he'd be lurking here. And I found out, like, the last live I did, he was like, oh, yeah, I was in there. I'm like, you little lurker, you. So I think he wants to get on and pop on or whatever. It'd be fun. Little couples. Because I was so impressed with how you guys work with the deck. Okay, so Deck Harley has a video called Can I Afford the Deck? Love it, love it, love it. She actually had concrete examples of like you incorporating your actual budget, your how much coming in, from your job or your income each month. And she had 2 different formulas or 2 different ways to look at it and approach it. And it was so helpful. Me and the analytical mind, I love that stuff. I eat it up. I approach my discussions around mindful collecting and intentional collecting differently than that, but it's all a part of the big cohesive message of what is right for you. I can't speak for what is right for the next person or this person or that person. I can only speak for myself. And I just wanted to give you guys tools to be able to kind of navigate and figure out for yourself. But Deck Harlett's video gives you also some tangible, concrete ways to figure that out too. And you've got to check it out. It's a great video. I loved it. So that's that. And I will be updating the description box with the links to these awesome channels afterwards. All right. So the next one, our lovely Scott, Scorpio Moon Tarot. You're live. I joined, I think, a couple of them. But Scott has a great channel. You guys got to check it out. First of all, he supports, hold on, before I get all into my Scott love. Hold on one second. Nancy says, hi on my wish list, along with Tarot of the Abyss. Yes, the Tarot of the Abyss is on my wish list too. Sometimes I'll try to pull the trigger, but I was afraid to buy from Amazon because it was like, oh, available soon. And it's like, when is that going to be? And then US Games, I was like, I don't know. So I'm probably not going to get the Tarot of the Abyss until I go to the States in December to visit my family and spend some time there. My poor mom, she don't even know I'm about to have shipments of like candles and crystals and probably a couple of decks, not many. I've only got a couple on my wish list that'll be ready to ship by then. But Tarot of the Abyss will probably be one of them. And our one that we just talked about. Yes, but it will be a long time because I have grounded myself from buying any more for quite a while. High on my wish list. Yes. Oh, that's the kind of answer I want to hear. That is the kind of answer I need to hear. Okay. Yes, he's totally a lurker. Now he says that he's just trying to check the quality because he knows I'll be having issues with my internet connection. So he'll let me know if there's a problem, but he'd be lurking and listening in on our conversations. I don't know how I feel about that. He said he's blushy. Okay. Okay, blush away. I'm sorry. I got to give you love because what I love about Scott is just he comes into our streams and he's like super supportive. He thinks of the things that we don't think about to do as tarot tubers, like it's kind of weird for me to be like, oh, like the video and stuff like that. And he remembers to say that for us, and his energy is just so warm and inviting. And I'm just so grateful that you are here. So thank you. And so your channel has been it's just been so much fun for me to watch. And you did I have it here, That's So 80s Tarot and Oracle walkthrough. I had so much fun that day. I don't know if I got a notification. I don't know what happened, but somehow I was like, I am feeling kind of down. It was a lot going on that week. And then I saw that and I was just like, I'm just going to dive into this because I am an 80s baby. I was born in 1980. I'm proud to say that. And every last card, there was probably maybe one out of the 78 tarot, and probably, well, the Oracle, probably one or two that I was like, oh, I don't know that reference. Even the British 80s things, I knew. I was like, I'm so 80s. I'm so 80s. So I just loved that walkthrough so much, Scott. You just don't know. It gave me so much life. I did not realize how nostalgic that whole experience was going to be. You guys have to check it out. I'm going to put the link in the description. We had a ball that day. We had a straight ball. Straight ball. It was fun. I'm like, I'm dating myself. Like some of the things, like I knew like all the stuff. I was like, I'm totally dating myself. That's okay. Big up, Scotty. Ew, I like that. So yeah, you had to give our Scott some love. Okay. All right. So now we are moving on to the random items. So I'm not going to talk too much about these things because it's ridiculous too. I've already talked about them. You guys already know it gets super hot, and the new house that I'm moving to, it's going to be a minute before we can get the AC in. So I have my large fans. They are clapping fans, or what do they call them? They're like, so I have one that's more modern. And then I was like, well, I have to have the traditional tarot. And then I have this one. So I have two. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I collect everything. I've been a collector my whole life. I was thinking back how long I've been collecting. I collected postcards when we would go on like nationwide road trips, my family, when I was a little girl. I collect all the postcards at all the little truck stops that we stop at. Then I collected rocks, and eventually that transformed into crystals and stones. Like and my dad collects coins and things like that. So it's kind of no surprise, but I'm gonna stop here at 2. So that's a random that these come in handy. Like if I go hang out with a friend at a cafe and it's super hot and we're sitting outside, I pop this little thing And people are like, you are so ridiculous. And I still love them. I got them last month and I still love them this month. So I won't keep talking about them. This is probably the last one I'll talk about for a minute. Where are you? This is my tarot study journal. I'm a journal fiend. I journal all the time. Clearly, like I have some, you can't see them. I have a shelf that I just buy some that I'm like, oh, eventually I'm gonna write in you. When I sold my home in Sacramento, I ended up having to give away and sell a bunch of journals, like hardbound journals that I loved, that I had collected, but it was like, they're too heavy. I can't bring them, and I'll just have to get more when I come here. And I did. I did. So what I like about this particular journal is it's designed by Compendium. Got them on Amazon, to be honest. So it's just this one, but I love that they have tabs. So they have tabs. So each deck that I will deep dive into will have its own little section. And this is all for the Hoodoo Tarot, this section here. All that. I'm a writer at heart, so I love, and it has a cool little message here. Let me see, does it say anything here? So no. It says, believe that this is a golden day and you are golden too. Cute little messages right there. And then I'm going to move on to the next deck study in this section, and then keep going and going and going, because I bought another one like this. I'll probably go on Amazon and buy a few more. I love journals. I love to collect. So there's that. Okay. Oh. Yay, that tarot fan, right? I mean, it gets hot out here, so I'm learning, you guys. I'm from a dry, hot climate in Sacramento. Very dry there, though. Very hot, very dry, but different. Here, it's not as hot, but it's humid, and it's like, I'm just, me and my hair are trying to figure it out. We are trying. Okay. Oh, wow. Thank you so much. Jackie and Nancy helped me. Oh, you guys are awesome. I knew, yeah, I was like, because I think you said a couple of times in the video or in the stream, you called them out. So I thought that was cool. So they are the masters behind my madness. I appreciate that, though. It's a team effort, right? Well, I enjoyed it, you all. You guys did an amazing job. Hey, my friend. Welcome. That's another channel you guys got to check out. Is Blue Crescent Tarot. Thank you. She is so awesome. I enjoyed one of your live streams too, my friend. I think it was Friday. It's Friday. Yes, Nancy, I got that large fan too. Love it. Call it my drama fan. Ain't it drama filled? It's like, oh, our friend, a couple of us have it, right? Blue Crescent Tarot. Don't you have it? Don't you have it? I try to, Deanne, I try to call you guys by your channel name, so people will be like, oh, let me do a search for that channel name real quick. And so I can, while I'm thinking about it, so I can hit the subscribe button, because you would want to. I thought Deanne had one too. And I was like, hey, we have this, we have a tarot fan. Isn't it awesome? Sip. Oh my gosh, you guys, gotta give the shout outs, because you guys, let me tell you. Yes, so yeah, you have the spirit board one, and the seller of the one that's my traditional fan, they created this fan and then the spirit board. The spirit board, I actually favored it in Etsy, and the Etsy, their shop. And then it's in my actual cart on Etsy, but I was like, girl, you got two fans. You are on a strict budget. Calm down. So I'll just watch your videos and your lives to take in the spirit board one. But I love the spirit board one too. So yes. Oh wait, she said Gerald sent me the spirit board one. Oh, that was a nice gift. Okay. Okay, so there's that. And then the last random I'm going to talk about briefly is it was on Instagram, EXO Tarot, their Instagram, and then a podcast. So he did the video and then did a podcast. And so I'll put the link in that. And it talked about my journey basically to the point that I am, and in how tarot has been a part of that. So it was such a great conversation. We found out that we are on similar trajectories. Turned out that we worked in the same industry. And I thought that was so funny. Or I don't work in the industry anymore. I'm like all tarot now. So, but we come from the same industry. So it was like, it's like when you connect with someone and then you find out certain like coinkydinks and you're like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe this. We are like on a similar path. And so he's getting ready to kind of walk away and try and set out on his own, and him and his wife are doing it. Like I just enjoy my time there. So I'll put the link there. That was fun. I had a lot of fun with that. So yeah, I was like, oh, I wish I had the energy and the time to do a podcast, but I don't. I'm going to be real with myself. I'm going to be real with myself. Who's adorable? Deanne? Deanne is adorable, if that's who you're talking about. Like, okay. Next up, briefly, books. Briefly. Okay, so I'm still finishing the books that I talked about in the last few month in reviews, the last like July and June. So I'm not going to talk about any long form books today, but I am going to talk again. I bring this little tiny book up all the time. It's Tarot Spreads for Empaths, 20 Spreads for Your Unique Gifts by Jennifer Soldner. Now, what sucks about this particular book is that it's not digitized yet. And some people were, when I talked about it like a few months ago, they were like, oh, is it digitized? And I'm like, no. And I know the importance of having a digitized book, because now I'm not buying many books if it's not on Kindle or on Barnes and Noble, so I can like read it on my e-reader. But this little thing here is small, but it's potent. It has spreads that if you identify with being an empath, they're super helpful. So if you can get your hands on the print version of this and just consult it when you need, you will be grateful for it. If you're an empath and also an introvert at that, it just really is helpful. Like some of the names of the spreads that I consulted this past month is the mine or theirs spread, cleansing spread, grounding spread, and physical health spread. They also have an emotional health spread. For those who are into chakras, they do have a chakra problem solving spread and chakra clarity spread. I didn't do the toxic relationship spread, but that's in there too. Life purpose spreads and all these little fun tarot tips and tricks. This is a really cool book. I really enjoyed it. I needed it actually, and we're going to talk about why I needed it more in depth as we move into the other items. Speaking of the other items, so my friend was a friend that I met here, but I knew of her because she has a YouTube channel, a big one too. But she's more into travel, vlogging and such, not tarot stuff, which is fine. And I love her to pieces, but she was struggling with having to make a decision to leave here, the DR, to move back to the States. And she was going through a lot emotionally. And what I end up doing is I end up just kind of throwing myself into like, I gotta be a support system. I gotta be helpful. I gotta help. But I also had postponed a bunch of readings from when my best friend from Texas, who came to visit me in July, I had postponed all these readings, and then August hit and all these readings became due. that I had I didn't go on vacation in my Etsy shop. So I'm like, okay, well, that's fine. But then I had all these readings that were due. So energetically, I was so drained from her, helping her and trying to be there for her, love her to pieces. But even when we are not, she's not an energy vampire. She's not. But because of the kind of work that I do as a tarot reader full time, I have to be better about my energy. I have to be better about I call it like energy hygiene, your spiritual hygiene. I learned a lot this past month. I got so low energy. I slept for like 2 days. I thought I might have had C19. I didn't, turns out. I thought something was physically wrong with me. I was super lethargic. I slept for like 2 days. I didn't feel well. I didn't eat. I just I felt foggy headed. I just felt so drained. I couldn't even explain it. I was like, what is going on? And I wasn't really, I couldn't tell what was going on. And then she flew off to the States. She's making her way now. She's doing great. But meanwhile, I'm over here like, oh God, what is going on? So I used the Minor There spread, my energy spread. So they have all these cool little spreads here. It's kind of faint. You're not going to be really able to see it. But, and I realized in doing these spreads that I was not protecting my energy, that I was just doling out all the energy in social media, with my readings, with friends, with my family, and I was depleted. I left nothing for myself, and it scared me because I don't like feeling all depleted like that. That scared me because I was like, what the hell is physically wrong with me? And then I found out, girl, you're not protecting yourself. Hi, Nina. When I was working in a shop, I had to remind myself of how worn out I would get, right? I could just imagine physical, like face to face doing readings. I could just imagine. It's difficult sometimes to do, even when we do remember, right? Thank you for saying that, because I was beating myself up about the fact that I was not properly doing what I was supposed to be doing. Normally, now I create sprays and I pray and I do all these grounding meditations and things like that. But I'll be honest, I was not, because I had gotten so backed up on the readings. I was like, I'm just going to slam through them. It's all right. It's all good. No, I was just with each reading, a little more depletion, a little more, till finally there was nothing left, and it started to affect my physical well-being. And I just don't, being a mom and a wife and a reader, I don't have the capacity for that. Oh, Scott, yay, welcome. You are so welcome. Glad you are joining the Facebook group. That sounds awful. Sorry you were so unwell. Right? I was scared. I was spooked, Nina, because I was like there. I didn't know if it was like the virus or what, because I felt, and then I would take my temperature, no nothing. It was just straight, girl, just depleted. Now I'm like, did somebody put a hex on me? What is going on? No, not according to the tarot readings I was doing for myself. No. It was really quite simple. So I'm all about ease. And what I ended up doing was so this is Florida water soap. I bought a bunch of Florida water in the States, especially when I started doing ancestral work for my own ancestors. Oh my gosh, you guys. Oh, I'll have to talk to you guys about that in a moment if I remember. It's not that important. It's more of my personal story. But so I did ancestry.com. This is a side note, and I promise I'll get back on course. So like a couple of years ago, that's what led me to working with the hoodoo tarot and going down this path of doing hoodoo and then ancestral veneration, right? And early on, when I had my DNA checked, there was this lady who popped up as one of my cousins, my first cousin, which means that she is my mom's niece. But my mom didn't know her brother. her dad, my grandfather, Richard, had a host of different families, right? He had a family before my grandmother, like before he met my grandmother. He was like 20 years older than my grandmother, and it was kind of a scandal, whatever. That's neither here nor there. But he had my mom and my uncle, Larry. And then when my mom was 9 months old, he left. My grandfather Richard, he left and moved on and started other families. These families had children, my cousins apparently. And so the girl, she's my age, I think. We look just alike. It's kind of frightening. I remember showing the picture of her because she has a profile on ancestry.com to my mom, and my mom was like, and normally my mom just writes off her dad like he's nothing to me. I don't care. She has a lot of like shadow around that. She doesn't know it, but she does. Maybe she does know it, but she just writes that part of the family off, even though I found out later that they did try to reach out to her. They loved her. They wanted her to come visit with them, not just him, her dad, but his family tried, but my mom was like, no, not having it. But when she saw the niece who looked just like, we look like, I don't know, we look so alike. It was so freaky. I was just like, oh my gosh. So she emailed me. I didn't email her. I was like, I'm just going to leave it alone because my mom don't want to talk about it. I'm just going to give my mom her grace and then just not explore that side of the family. But then on Friday, last Friday, I got an email finally after like 2 years of being on Ancestry, a year and a half, 2 years, I think. And she finally reached out to me. I was going, and I just was so excited. She finally reached out to me. Turns out she lives in California too, Southern California. I'm just so thrilled. I'm so freaking thrilled that she reached out. So now I'm like, okay, well now we can just open up these doors and just start connecting family. My mom's not having it, but I can do it. Whatever, it's fine. Anyways, I went on a whole tangent, but that was so exciting for me to get the email from my cousin. And it was the cousin who, the first one, when I first signed up on ancestry.com, popped up that you guys are like very closely related. And it turned out to be my mom's niece of a brother my mom never met. So it's just like, oh my God. Florida water soap. So I have this from the States, and I had like a few bars that I used there. This was part of a 3-pack, I think. And I was like, oh, that's right. So I could just start washing my hands between each readings. You know how doctors do. They, when they come into the doctor's office, they, and they come in and get ready to like examine you or whatever. And they, wash the hands. So I was like, okay, I could use this before and after my readings to give me, just a cleansing of the energy. And this actually, maybe it's all psychological, but it helped. It totally helped. But then I was like, I want something more natural. So then I went online to Etsy, of course, and I found some people of color, what do you want to call them? Business owners who made Florida water soap. So this is from Scented Ambrosia. Love her. And this is Florida water soap. I haven't opened it yet. It just came to me, and I'm going to start using this because it doesn't have preservatives in it like this one does, but this one's super drying. And she says this is super moisturizing. So we'll see. So use the magical bar to wash off negativity and stress to make room for your blessings is what she has here on the soap. She's a nurse. People like her Etsy shop is hopping. Lots of great reviews. It's fast shipping. She's from Louisiana. I have a post office box in Miami. And so it was super fast to get to me. So this was helpful. So then I said, all right, well, I have sprays, but I need some Florida water spray. So then I found labshaman.com Florida water. So she makes her own Florida water, another Black woman who Etsy business owner. And this was also fast shipping because she's in Georgia. So it's like a day, like they were so fast. Anyways, it smells so good in a spray. And it's a lot. And it was cheap. So I'll put the links in the description. I was like, I could get the traditional Florida water, but I was like, something in my spirit was like, no, girl, you just go on and support your business owners and and do that. So I did, and this smells good. I've already started using this. But the soap, I'm gonna unwrap this. I'm gonna put this aside since it's got preservatives in it, and I can use this later. But this one needs to be used quite quickly, is what she said. That's fine by me. All right, sorry guys, I totally segued, but it was important that I talk about why I had to consult this book. Y'all, it's a journey being a a tarot reader. It's a journey. Okay, let's see. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I was telling them at the beginning, I'm like, so my skin loves being out here in the tropics. Like totally loves. I don't need lotion. Sometimes I put I put the sunblock. I have sun moisturizer with sunblock, but my skin doesn't really need it. It's so nice. But my hair, I've spent my whole since 2015 to 2025, 5 years of learning how to manage my hair in a dry climate. And that took a while to finally got a routine. And so now I'm trying to learn how to deal with humidity in my hair. And so today my hair is conditioning in there. And so I was like, I have a new wrap that I could just wear real fast. And the hair can be doing what she do in there. So thank you. Hey, Groon. Oh my gosh. I'm so happy you're here. Oh, hi. Hi. Oh, I think, yes, I think I watched some of your videos. I'm pretty sure. Guys, I've been over consuming YouTube. Not in a bad way, though. Well, you guys, I love watching tarot tube videos. It always feels good and nourishing for me. But I was watching some ratchet, meaning just not very good for you YouTube videos. So I had to that was another thing that came up in this whole situation. I'm biding my time. That soap looks beautiful, right? It smells good. It's got herbs. You probably can't see it. It's got herbs in there. So that's going to be interesting to have a little herbs floating around in the sink water, but I don't care. I just got to make sure I scoop them up so they don't go down the drain. That's can't wait to use it. So I'm going to use this between my readings as a quick way until I can take a shower and get my bath installed at our new house, because they don't do bathtubs out here customarily in homes. So we have to search high and low for a tub. And I found one. I'm like, I didn't want to tell them I like to do spiritual baths because I was going to sound crazy. So I'm just like, I'm tall and I need to be able to have an Epsom salt bath when I need it. So that, my husband was like, okay, that makes sense. But if I was like, yeah, I need to do a spiritual bath, then that might not sell. But anyways, until I can actually take a shower, because sometimes I'm doing back-to-back readings or people are coming over later, I can wash my hands or wash where I feel like I need to cleanse myself. And then I can take my shower or take a bath to do more cleansing. And I have the ocean here now, which is awesome. But I'll be honest, I don't always get to make it to the ocean because I'm here doing readings. So, anywho, let me scoot closer. Hello, Jen. I'm so glad you caught me. I'm trying to move fast because I feel like I talk too much, but I was just gushing about your yesterday's live. I'm going to put the link in the description for the wisdom of the shadow. That was wonderful. That was so good. I was impressed. Hi, the Oracle Throne. Thank you for joining. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm glad you're here. Oh, okay. Yes, the live was fabulous. Fabulous. I got chills sometimes during watching that live, I have to say. Okay, moving on to crystals. We'll be brief here, and then we're gonna dive in right into decks. So I won't hold you guys up too long. So the first crystal I want to talk about Well, let me talk about this one first. So my friend, bless her, the one who was moving away, who's now doing well in the United States, she had a lot of reservations about leaving here because this is, we're kind of in a bubble here. It's safe. There's not as many people. Like she and I are both from Northern California, and she's going back to work in a university and to just be immersed a lot in, and California is high. It's a very densely populated area. It's gorgeous. I love it. I miss it. But there's many aspects of living in the States that I don't miss. And I think that I would have keeled over from anxiety had I stayed any longer than I did this year, because I was a stress case, to be honest. So she was like, she had jewelry that she was giving away. And she was like, she looked at this, she's like, I think you could really, this will be good for you. And it's amber. So it's just like a little like piece of amber. And I have a piece that I keep with me, that travel with me. It feels, you know, soft. Anyways, it helps dispel negativity. It roots out depression. It's just even though it's not a dark crystal or a dark stone, as you would think that could be a protective type of stone to wear during readings, for example, it actually is quite protective, and I loved it. And I started, as soon as she left, I started wearing it, and it felt really good to wear it. And I started playing around with the piece that I've had for a long time, my piece of amber. So there's that. So that was a favorite of mine. But yeah, she had like other pieces of like jewelry. I'm like, nah, no, I don't want that. And then she was like, well, I actually set this one aside. I thought you would like this little necklace. It's nothing special, but it's got amber. I'm like, no, this is what I want. Because it was like, she had like a lot of other costume jewelry. And I was like, no, I don't want that. It's not really my style. But this is, and I actually wear it when I'm doing like readings, particularly on the hotlines. So I'm really grateful that she gave it to me. Thank you. No, like so. Looking at the spray, I want to spray it again. The other stone is a gift that came in. You can't hear it. I don't think you can hear it even as much as I shake it. So it is agate in hydro. Have you guys heard of this stone? I had not, and I'm into crystals, but you can't know all the crystals. So my friend mailed a deck to me, the Shrine of the Black Medusa Tarot. Just published an unboxing there, but she also included this gorgeous stone, and it has water, ancient water in there, and you shake it, you can feel it, and you can hear it. And I'm just gonna read to you guys like some of the properties, and then we're gonna dive into these decks because I don't want to keep you guys all day. I already kept you long enough. Okay, so agate in hydro gently stabilizes our physical and etheric bodies. The stone helps to balance to our minds, bodies, and spirits. It helps to bring balance, I should say. The water inside these crystals has been kept pure from the contaminants of human industrial pollution, which makes it an ideal crystal to use for those seeking purity, including purity of mind, body, or soul. Working with agate in hydro is ideal for cleansing and purging built up toxicity from the physical system. And so, as you can imagine, this came at a time I desperately needed when I was feeling energetically and physically really low and mentally low too, to be honest. I was like, am I depressed? And I'm like, what is going on here? So I would hold this and shake it and feel good. And I was like, I was so grateful. You know how your friends just know like what to send you? And she just knew. I was so impressed and grateful for this stone. I just love it. She knew I was missing buying crystals and having the new little jewels in my hands. And here it is. And I just keep grabbing for it. So between these two, I really felt really supported. And I am a believer in crystal healing. So, either you're a believer or you're not, but I am. Okay, Dex. Like, Can't wait to see Renetta's new look. Oh, yes. Okay. Yes, 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 yes. Jen, you were amazing. I have to say, I was impressed. I was like, I felt like I was watching some professional show, you guys. I was impressed. I love that stone. I have one that sits on my work table. Mine is more Chalcedony. Ooh, I like that one. Have you put it up to light? It glows from the inside. Is it the, well, I'm gonna look at both. I don't know which one you're talking about that glows. I'm looking at the lights. I can see it. Oh, that's so cool. I just love crystals. I'm such a sucker for them. What a special, it is a special stone. It made it all the way from my friend in the West Coast of the United States to here. I'm so touched. It's also great for emotional work stability. Clearly the universe was like, let me help her out and send her some stones that she can work with because she needs it. I needed it. I have never, I'm going to say this, you guys. I have never worked so much in my life till I became self-employed. Oh my God. Like I was looking at some of my older videos and I was like, I thought I was stressed. I thought I was stressed and I was. But this is a different level of working. I don't know. I love being self-employed. I love waking up when I want to wake up. But I feel like I'm working way harder, and I gotta adjust that. So these stones are right on time. Let me tell you, like a flashlight. Oh, okay, okay. I just bought some lanterns in case we get another hurricane that come blasting through here. So I have these bright lanterns. They're like blinding. So when we get off the line, I'm gonna go and look at the crystals with the bright lights so I can see because these aren't bright. Thank you. But back to you and your crystal goodies. Oh yeah, we gushed about you earlier too. So if you watch earlier in the replay, there was more gushing happening. Just so you know, I just love my little Libra friend. Okay, decks. Okay, so first we're gonna talk about Oracle. Let's get that out of the way. All right, so I did an unboxing of this, the Earthcraft Oracle by Juliet Diaz and Lorianne Anderson, and art by Danielle Boudou Fortuné. This is a Hay House deck, and my friend, my dear friend, she lives in Texas now, but we grew up together in Oakland, California. Like little bad butts in Oakland in the 90s, in the early 90s. And she's a dear friend of mine, and she surprised me. She went on my Amazon wish list. My sister sent it to her, and so she wanted to surprise me with all these little goodies and things. And so she brought this deck back because I had just added this deck to my wish list and on Amazon. And so then she comes, and then the night that we come, she's like, I have presents. And she brought all these different presents for me and my daughter and my husband. It was just so special. She's a Pisces, I feel like Pisces, my sister's a Pisces, they love to give. And I love to receive, apparently. So the Earthcraft, I have been using this deck a lot. And I'll show you the deck that I used it with my tarot selections for the month in just a sec. These are the card backs. Yay, that's what we want to see. That's what we want to see. Thank you, Nina. Crystals pair so well with our tarot card. Yes, they do. I love pairing them. So I think that's why we're like, they're in tandem, right? They go hand in hand. Yay for friends, right? Yay for friends. Love my friends. I'm so blessed. So I got this deck. Oh, that one flew. Run with Wolves. And I use this actually for one client reading, but mostly I've been using this deck in the last month or so for readings for myself. And then my same friend who got this deck for me, the Ancients, I like that one. She she's not really into readings and things like that. That's not what we came together. We came together in seventh grade in junior high, and that's how we connected. And then she just watched me ebb and flow in my life of jobs and careers, and I watched her. But she got this deck for me, and I had not done an official reading for her. And we were so busy while she was here in the DR, we didn't get a chance to do a proper reading. I did like a couple of spot readings, I call them, just like really on the spot, just real fast while she was here. And then one day, I think she was having just a really challenging time. Her dad had passed away not too long ago, and she was like, I'm ready. I'm ready for a reading. So I said, okay, bye. So I pulled this deck, and then to go with the tarot deck that I'll show you guys in a moment, and to do the readings. So she bought it for me, and I was just like, I felt called to use this deck for her. And the readings were amazing. We did it on WhatsApp. So I did a reading for her on WhatsApp. I wanted to do something more fancy for her, but I think we were dealing with kind of like some residual hurricane stuff. So the internet was like, I couldn't guarantee I could upload a video for her. So we did a reading on WhatsApp, and I think she was like, wow, it confirmed a lot of stuff. This was beautiful. And I just really appreciate this deck. You are sacred. Super diverse. I like the way it feels. It's not gilded, thank God. It's borderless. The guidebook is amazing. I really appreciate it. It's a really good deck to me. And I use it throughout the month of August for readings, primarily for myself. So yeah. Thanks, Scott, for stopping by. I'm super, super happy that you stopped by today. You got to see live what I was going to chat about your channel today. So yay. I agree, Nancy. The deck I use most for in-person readings is a crystal deck. It really formed an awesome foundation for me and my readings, right? Like it does. You have those go-to decks. And I'm still searching for the perfect crystal oracle deck. We'll see. Like I have one in the States. I didn't bring it here, and I'm not so in love with it, so I'm still on the hunt. I'll just say that. Let's just say that. Okay, so next oracle deck that we're going to talk about. I like to go in orders because when I update the description box. I've talked about this deck before, the Intuitive Life Coaching Oracle. I totally could use this deck in client readings, totally could. But right now I've been called to use it for readings for myself, and I've been doing weekly draws with it. So the cards that are on my table for the week are Metamorphosis. I have 3 cards. Metamorphosis, Perception, and Old Habits. And I'll just show you guys these. And I had some old habits that kind of rear their ugly head since I've moved here. And I'm ashamed to say, but they are what it is. And I'm confronting those and making sure that I deal with them. This is Metamorphosis. Can you see that? They're glossy, so not everybody's going to love them. Not everyone's going to love the size. It's an 84 card deck, I think. 77 cards. It's got a 208-page guidebook. I really enjoy this deck a lot. It has like a key phrase. It says, like the caterpillar that emerges from its cocoon, you are about to get your wings. So that's one card. Perception. You are getting ready to have a shift in perception that will change everything. And I did. Oh, I did. And old habits. An old habit may be keeping you from moving forward. So I keep these on my reading table. I can't call it an altar. I keep them here, and I look at them, and they show up in different ways. You know how when you were working with cards like this, different themes will pop up throughout the week or however long you're working with those cards. And so I just really, really love this deck. I have used it quite a bit since moving here. It's been super helpful for my journey to moving to a new country. and also moving from working full-time for someone else to working full-time for myself and giving myself grace in all of this transition that I'm going through. It's been really helpful and I really like it. The only gripe I have about it is the size of it because it's 77 cards. It's basically like a tarot deck. It's number of tarot cards, right? 78 cards. But it's large and I have a hard time shuffling them. But I really like it. Just in spite of the things I'm not crazy about. So that means it's a special deck. Trust and forgiveness, approval. I like the tapestry style, art style, which is kind of unexpected, but I don't know. It's not like I'm necessarily probably like, oh, positive life changes. I'm seeing positive life changes, but I suppose if I looked at the image long enough, I would see that. But here's the backs. They're a handful to hold, but they work for being altar cards. You certainly could use them in readings. They work very well with sitting on your reading table to look at throughout for me, the week, and just, meditate on what's coming up here, journal about what's coming up here, time to lighten up. You may be taking life too seriously. And so many, I've done a walkthrough of this deck, so definitely check it out. I'll try to remember to add the link to the walkthrough so you guys can see. I hope I did one. I'm pretty sure I did one. Dark Night of the Soul. I like that one. So yeah, that's another Oracle deck that not necessarily one I use for client readings. I totally would be comfortable. I think I have in the past, but some decks just speak to you and say, I don't want to be used for other people. I just want to me and you. Just me and you, Kim. That's it. And I go with it. So I love this deck. And it was instrumental also while I was down this month. And then finally, The Sacred Creators Oracle by Chris Ann Donnelly. This is the mass market edition. I do have the indie version. I do. But it's a 67 card deck and guidebook for your creator soul. I don't know. I have not been called to use the indie version because I like the mass market so much better in terms of daily use or using it on a consistent basis. The card stock on the indie version is super thick. It's a gorgeous deck. Hence why I end up getting it in the mass market edition. It's gorgeous. But I need something I can really shuffle. And I'm hoping you guys, can you guys tell me, I've asked this like every video, every live stream. Can you all tell me those who have bought the Light Seers Tarot, the mass market, if it's in the same stock of the Sacred Creators? Because the earlier versions of the mass market Light Seers that I got is the stock is just very difficult to shuffle. I mean, I make it work. But this, oh my God, I just love it. I love the sound. Just amazing. Ripple shuffles like a dream. Clearly, the guidebook is where it's going to shine on this deck, right? Because you got light and the unexpected. It's universal. You can use this deck with many different decks that you have in your collection. You can use it with tarot. You can use it alone. I use this also in conjunction with the intuitive life coaching. And I keep these also, you probably can't see them. They're over here. I pull like 2 of these cards each week to help me on my soulpreneur journey of trying to run my own reading business full time. Not trying, doing. Success and transformation. Here's another card. And I go through the guidebook. The indie version is lovely because it's got a really super thick guidebook that delves into all sorts of things for each card. And then the Mass market is just a short condensed version of the indie version. The indie is like full size book. It's glorious. I have not parted with it. Not sure if I will, but I'll be lying if I said, oh, oh, I only use the indie version. That's not true. I've been only using the mass market. So there's that. There's that. I won't go through too many. I think I did. I hope. I've done so many videos, unboxings, and walkthroughs and things. I think I did one of the Sacred Creators comparing of the two, of the indie and the mass market. But I use the mass market probably because I'm babying the indie, to be honest with you. Ooh. Hi, Kristen Louise Tarot. Kristen Louise, thank you for joining. Yeah, it is really big. It is a drawback. I mean, I always say my hands are pretty large, so I can use them, but my wrists are tiny. I actually have a really small wrist for the size of my hands. It's ridiculous, but it can be challenging. So I think why I'm called to use them more as altar cards because of that. If I was trying to use them in client readings, it could be cumbersome, I would say. Yes, I love that. So Deanne says, Kim, that deck that's big for you to shuffle would be cool as positions and spreads, and then you can shuffle and draw a tarot on top. Yes, I'm gonna try that. That is a fun idea. Oh, I like that. Like you build a spread with these cards, these oracle cards. I see exactly what you're saying. Yes. Yeah, Kristen's in the house. I gifted my light seers. Yeah. I've had several copies now, and I bought them early on when they first started publishing the mass market, and I was just curious if they had improved upon their stock like they did with the Sacred Creators. I know that Chris Ann is about to drop the tarot, is it of Curious Creatures? And I'm curious to know if the Tarot of the Curious Creatures is coming out probably late September, October, if it's going to be on the same stock as the Sacred Creators Oracle in Hay House. And if it is, that's wonderful. If they could just circle back to the Light Seers and make sure it's also the same stock, that would be much appreciated. Much, much appreciated. Yes, me too. Okay, that's good to know. I wonder. I might have to when I go to the States. I might have to pick up yet another copy. I'm brutal on that deck. Stop my own BS deck. Yes, yes, yes. Screw I like your name. Um, it does. And it doesn't it do it in a nice, kind way. It's super nice. It's not like it stops you on the BS. It's like cut it out. You know what you're doing. You just stop. But it doesn't do it in a way of like your mean girlfriend who just is so sharp tongued that you almost don't even want to talk to her about things. I have some tarot decks and oracle decks like that. And like, do I even raise this issue with you? It does it in a way where it's like, oh, I do want to hear the truth. And because you say it so nicely. I love the Sacred Creators Oracle so much more than I thought I would. It took me forever to buy it, and now I have it out all the time. I know. It's such a special deck. Oh, thank you. You're so kind. What's interesting is I actually love my hands. They're just I just like I'm not kidding myself that that they're not tiny. Like some of our tarot friends who, they're like that deck is too big. I'm like, all right, well, they're not too big for my hands, but my hands are replicas of my mom's hands, and I think my mom's hands are gorgeous. Even now in her older age, they're so pretty to me, and so um, I love staring at my mom's hands. I actually, isn't that weird? I'm a hands person. I'm a hands person, and I honestly sometimes I feel a certain way about not painting my nails or not like polishing them or getting them done. I used to get my nails done I used to have talons that I would like have all the time. I don't anymore. My daughter is very au naturel, and she kind of like smirks if she sees that I have polish on my nails because she's 10, but she's very much like, I'm not going to ever polish my nails. And I'm so inspired by her. So I kind of like want to pay homage and honor that. And I feel like, well, everybody's getting their nails done as tarot readers, but I could just be someone who just has her nails, just her hands. So I love them because they remind me of my mama's nails. Yes, it's a great. Oh my gosh, you guys are too. Hey, thanks. Now it's Scott said, now it's my turn to blush and get all hot. Thank you. Yeah, everybody's staring at my hands now. And I have hangnails and everything. I show you guys in my walkthroughs my little hangnails and my little issues. But I'm like, this is who I am. I don't polish them. Maybe after we're done building the house or something and I'm not like tearing up something with my hands, then they can finally be all prettified. But right now, this is it. Bare nails. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Thank you. I was all feeling a certain way. I'm like, oh, I'm not fancy for them today. I'll put on a little lipstick for them, but I'm not fancy. The hair had to be put up. They had to be put up. So, 2 oracles I'm going to mention, and I'll try to remember to put them in the description box, is they're independently produced. It's the Illuminated Earth Oracle and the Faceted Garden Oracle by Claire Mack. This one came out in 2018. Love it. And I loved it so much that in 2020, when this one came out, I had to get it. For time's sake, I won't go through full flip throughs of these. I'll just show you a couple. But I really love this deck. I used it recently in a client reading, and I was like, why am I not using you guys? What is going on here? I love this deck. I've been love this one. I used to use this one in weekly oracle readings I would do on Instagram back when I was doing that. I don't really do that anymore, but I stopped. So I think at that point is when I stopped using this deck. This is Grief. I like that one. Oh my gosh. I'm into abstract art, if you guys can't tell, or I'm also into collage. I like abstract art for some reason. It's like my aesthetic. That's why I think the wisdom of the shadow really spoke to me too. I was like, oh, this is something special. Here's Protection. So this is the deck that introduced me to Claire Mack's work. And so when she said she was coming out with this particular deck, I was like, okay. Or she's coming out with the Faceted Garden. The Faceted Garden Oracle. I was sold. I'm similar when Chris Ann Donnelly is about to drop a deck. I'm like, I love the creator so much that I'm like, I'm there. I'm there. And now that I've done my work with the depth year stuff and the course that I created about, mindful collecting, I am slowly buying decks, like not like I was like how I used to be where I just instantly would buy a deck. So this one I did actually do a spread, not this one, the Faceted Garden, on whether or not it would be a great addition to my collection. And I got a resounding yes. Here's Attachment. I like this one a lot. And Potential. And I'll stop there. I'll stop there. It has a little guidebook. Got a little guidebook there. So Claire Mack, I love her aesthetic. I love the aesthetic of her art. It speaks to me. And I have many tarot decks that these decks work with. This one didn't come with a full-on little book. It just has like a little fold-out thing here, but I don't care about that. It's completely fine. You've got good artwork and good keywords. I'll be all right. So this one, unlike the illuminated earth, this one's gilded. Can you see that? It's got that holographic going on. Here's core, more of her aesthetic. Here's consciousness. So I used this in a reading, these two together with the tarot deck, and I was just blown away. I was like, oh, I am tripping not using these decks like I need to. But isn't that always the case? A lotus, nest, new moon, new moon. Oh, we got some new folks in the house. Hold on. So those are some oracle decks that I was feeling in the month of August. Let's see what's going on. Let me scoot in. Know me. Let me see. Hello, everyone. Hi. How are you? I know, she's my hero too. I need your IG again. Connect, peeps. Let's see. I love illuminated earth. Just start working with it. I carry with, oh, we could probably, what's your security blanket deck? We could start a video response to that, couldn't we? I have a couple myself, so I love that. Kristen, I feel you on that because I used to use this deck a lot, the Illuminated Earth, in my own readings for myself. I think one New Year's reading for myself, I used it in conjunction with tarot, and then weekly readings that I was doing on IG. Love that. And then after I was like, I'm done with these weekly readings. It's too draining. And so then I think I was just, I put them on the shelf and then that was it. But they came back out because something, my intuition was like, girl, you need to use it. You need to use it. So let's see what we got going on. Hello, beautiful Nomi, Jennifer. Hello, hello. All right, tarot, and then I'll let y'all go. So, let me make sure I'm in order. Okay. So, y'all remember this one, the Earthcraft Oracle, Earthcraft. And then we have the Sacred Bridges. I showed you guys this unboxing. I bought this deck, 2 years ago, and I finally published the unboxing. That's how many unboxings I have, you guys. It's so bad. I got this deck when I was at Northwest Tarot Symposium, Newts, we call it. My first one in 2019? And I got this deck then. And then I didn't publish the unboxing until, a few weeks ago in August sometime. And I did a tarot combos video with this deck and the Earthcraft Oracle. And let me tell you, this combo, and this is still in print. You can get the deck for a reasonable price on Etsy. She has an Etsy shop, the creator. These go together so beautifully, aesthetically, yes, but also in readings. This is the deck, the Sacred Bridges Tarot, and this oracle that I did a reading for my best friend. And the readings were just beautiful. Now it is Thoth based, Thoth based, but that you'll be fine, even if you're more Rider-Waite-Smith-esque. Here's the backs. Here's the Chief of Staves. It's now some people will be like, oh, this is a little busy for me. This is a little much. And I get that, but I wasn't thrown or bothered by that myself personally. And then when I saw this deck with the Earthcraft, I was sold. And so I used this deck for my best friend's reading that I did for her. And then readings for myself. And I just I love the messages that were coming through. This is Five of Waters, so traditionally the Five of Cups. And I just love the look of it. I'll be honest, I was hardly using this deck. I'm glad I brought it here to the DR with me because now I am really loving it. There are some Thoth-based decks that I really adore, like the Sun and Moon Tarot. Um, I have a few. That would be the main one that comes at the top of my mind. Now, to use the Aleister Crowley deck, like the actual Thoth deck, I'm not raring to do it. Like Tarot de Marseille, for some reason that appeals to me way more right now in my life, my tarot life, than the Thoth. And I don't know why. I don't know why I have such an aversion to the straight Thoth tarot, but I do. That will change. I'm sure that changes. Here's the Artisan of Stakes. Stakes. So, like I said, so this deck, the Sacred Bridges, won't be to everyone's liking. I get that, but it works for me. Five of Stakes. It works for me, and it works with the Earthcraft for some reason. And I think I want to play around with the Earthcraft and see what other tarot decks that I have in my collection. So stay tuned. Probably it's sometime in October, like I won't say September, but sometime in October or November, I probably will have a video where I'm going through my whole collection that I have here and kind of doing different tarot combo videos because I'll now, since I'm moving from this location, this apartment that I'm staying in to our home, I'm going to be kind of going through my decks and playing around and seeing which ones play with each other, which ones play well with each other. So that's the Sacred Bridges. The next tarot, I won't talk too much about because I've talked about it ad nauseum, but I'm just going to show you guys real quick. It's the Hoodoo Tarot. The tarot study group is wrapping up after 12 weeks. 12 weeks we worked on it. This is the Hoodoo Tarot. I love this deck. I loved it before the tarot study, and now I'm deeply in love with it afterwards. I will go back to using this deck how I did it, how I used it in my spiritual practice before, weekly, connecting with my ancestors with it. Like I always say, I connect with my ancestors their way, some of them. Many of them like when I pull out the Bible that my grandmother, my paternal grandmother gave me, and I read scriptures to them. But part of the deal we have is that they speak my language, and that's tarot. And we work together. So once a week, I get together with certain ancestors of mine, and this is the deck that I use with that practice. And I love this deck even more after the tarot study. I had a feeling that would happen. I'm not going to go through it. You guys could watch all the videos I have. You could just type in the search little box Hoodoo Tarot in my channel, and you're going to see like a slew of videos related to it. So the tarot study wraps tomorrow. We're going to be announcing a new deck. It's going to be a shorter turnaround for this next tarot study. More on that tomorrow. I'm going to be back here tomorrow with you guys. Hopefully not as long of a live. Sorry, you guys. Last deck. Then I'll let y'all go. No. Thank you all for those who hung in there with me this whole time. And thank you for those who watched the replay later. This is the Good Karma Tarot. Keep it in this little bag here. I like this little bag. You guys know the Super Lunaris Tarot? Well, the creators make these cute little bags on they sell them on their Etsy shop. So I got this bag, and it goes perfectly, in my opinion, with my Good Karma Tarot. I like this deck a lot. I really do. I don't even mind this on the glossy side. I even like the size of it. It's not too big. And it's just anyone could pick this deck up and start using it for their tarot readings. The guidebook is amazing. It's amazing. It's now quickly becoming one of my favorite tarot decks, I have to say. Here's the Three of Cups. It's diverse. It's modern aesthetics, contemporary, like, oh, like you can see your friends and yourself in the images. And it's not something that you have to like deep dive and think about. Sometimes you just need a deck that you just consult real fast. And this would be one of them. And that doesn't mean that the readings are not deep or that you can't go deep with them. It's just some of us need easily accessible decks, and this is one of them. I really like it. I really like it. I did a walkthrough, um, an unboxing, I believe. It's one of the few decks that have made their way down to me here. And I'm in love with it. I love this deck so much. I actually used it for a couple of hotline readings and it worked perfectly fine. Sometimes, like, because I've worn out my mass market Lycier so much, I was like, this looks shabby. Let me let me spruce her up and pull out something else. Just sometimes I need a change for my tarot readings that I use in professional client readings. And then, I have to be selective about what decks that I'm pulling out. If it's not like the Smith Waite borderless that I sometimes will pull out, because sometimes people just want, like my clients want to see that traditional element of reading. So I pull that out for them. But most of the time, my aesthetic is like modern contemporary images. And I want my clients, when they see the cards on the table or when I show them up on the screen, I want them to be able to say, ooh, I see myself in this, or ooh, I see the message that you're saying here that's coming through. I can interpret it for myself. It's like, I don't want it to be super secretive, like only I know the answers in the reading. No, that's not true. It's a whole collective process, right? Yes, I am a reader. I am an interpreter of the messages that are coming through, but the client is very much a part of that reading experience, as is the divine. So I want us all to be a part of it. Interactive experience is what I like to think of it. Here's the Two of Cups, and then that's it. That's it. Sorry, you guys. I knew August was going to be jam-packed with a lot of stuff to share. It always is. Every monthly favorites video that I did for August has always been like this. It's always been super jam-packed. I've been doing favorites videos since the start of my channel, which is like, I think I started in August 2017. That's when I started this channel. And I've been doing favorites types of videos since then. And so, yeah, I now know the rhythm of myself. Let's see some of these here comments before we wrap up for the day. I'm so glad you guys are here. Thank you for coming. Let's normalize taking our sweet time when that's how it goes. Yes, let's normalize that. Such a fast-paced society we are in that we feel like we have to do everything in a rushed way. We don't. We don't. That would be fun. An updated tarot combo with your current collection. Thank you. I'm excited to see, because then that might give me some new ideas of decks that I can work with for myself personally and my own personal readings, and then show you guys what I'm doing, and then give you ideas, give you inspiration on what you might want to pair up. You might have those same decks or something similar in your collection that you can pull and play with. And not everyone does combinations with Oracle and Tarot. I do. I love Oracle and Tarot combos. So, yeah. I used to work with Thoth, but now I almost use Rider-Waite-Smith and Marseille. Oh, ATA sometimes too. Ooh. I've seen that word before. Don't know much about it. Now I'm going to be on a Google search. Yes. Okay, this is good. It's hard for me to find a good deck for ancestor work. And you will. And honestly, you could use any deck that you really connect with. I just had a feeling back even before the Hoodoo Tarot came out that was going to be my deck for it, my deck for that type of work, because both of my parents are from the United States South, Mississippi, the state. And I just had a feeling that that one was going to speak to me, and it did. But I've also used other decks in my ancestral work too. And so, you know, there was that. Oh, I like that too. The Good Karma. The Good Karma looks like a hip chick tarot and Mother's Wisdom deck were combined. I like that. My hip chick tarot is in the United States in my parents' house. And so I was like, how do I feel about that one? Is this one coming back to the States? Am I giving it to my son's girlfriend who's into tarot? I'll have to see. I like that deck though. But I have to be now selective about which ones travel with me from my parents' house in the States to here when I come back in January. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see. Bye, MA. Thank you for joining. Let me see. Off to work on Zoom. Thank you for being here. I know we're wrapping up. We are wrapping up. Typo etier. Hold on. I'm going to still look that up because I've seen that before and I'm like, I don't know much about it. And then she goes off and starts buying up those decks. I'll be good. Oh, the Rainbow Heart Tarot, and that's it for me for a while. So yeah, we know our limits over in this camp, don't we? So you guys, share with me real briefly for the next couple of minutes. It's 2:00. I don't know what's probably starting in our world of tarot too. So I don't want to infringe on anyone's time if they're doing a live. But share with me now in the next couple of minutes, and also in the comments below about things you loved in August. Um, different things you experienced, different decks you were digging, different crystals you were loving. I just want to hear from you. It was all me and all what I was going through, but I love hearing from you guys as well. So I just also want to thank you guys for being here with me today. Um, it's so much fun to connect with you all in this way, I have to say. Well, I appreciate you guys joining. Ooh, the Enigma. Ooh. I have that one and I love it. I also use that one in weekly oracle readings as well. Spot on, bang on readings. That one's a fun oracle deck. Real, no holds barred, but I like the aesthetic of the Enigma. Now you're reminding me to pull it out and play with it. It is here with me. It's not in the States, it's here. So I'll be using that. Ooh, just got the Cosmos Oracle. The imagery is super simple. Oh, I've seen that one. But the book is pure poetry. And I am all here all day for a great guidebook. The writer in me gravitates towards a deck that actually has a strong guidebook, because it's not just the packaging of the box and the cards and the images. For me, it includes a strong guidebook. So I think I heard of the Cosmos, and I'm glad to hear that it's got a beautiful book to go with it. Gerald and Zane on the Tarot Stash talking about Spacious Tarot just started. Thank you. All right, guys. Well, that's it. Gonna wrap this up. Thank you all so much for joining me. And then using the Future Ancestor Tarot is a bit. Oh, Future Ancestor? No, me. I don't know that one. Gonna check that one out. Don't know that one. Future Ancestor. You are so welcome. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for the update on, because I was like, I feel like something's out on that too. So I'll see you guys around. I'll see you all tomorrow. I'll be back on here to do a deck announcement for our next tarot study and other fun announcements happening in the Facebook group too. So chat with you all later. Mwah! Much love to each and every one of you. Take good care of yourselves. I'll see you all around, probably in tarot too. Bye.